You are now listening to the Friends of Rugby podcast. Relax your anus. Balls. Thick thighs. Camille Shat. Where's his neck? Eddie Jones. You're fucked, mate.
And we are
We're
recording.
nice now.
Hello, friends. You're listening to.
Hello.
You're listening to.
Me.
No,
the
for
friends
fuck's sake.
of
We're
rugby.
yes.
You want to involve me more in the intros and outros?
Yeah,
I like that.
You see how I threw you the
I wasn't looking.
You're like, hey.
Texting my wife.
You're listening
Hello,
to.
friends. Welcome to the Friends of Rugby podcast, where we discuss matters that we get from the internet. You know, we sat here researching what we should think a few minutes beforehand.
Used AI chat. AI. How do I feel about rugby?
What is
how,
my opinion on rugby this week?
How should I think about the weekend of rugby?
Hi, Frank. The Champions Cup has become quite lopsided due to financial changes.
So we had our first knockouts. Our first weekend of knockouts.
Yes, in Europe 2025.
How do you feel?
Well, sad because Cardiff are knocked out.
What are you talking? Oh, you're talking about the champion.
The Challenge Cup.
Is that,
The Challenge
I kind of
Cup.
forget that exists.
How can you? We're gonna go watch the final live.
That's like the PlayStation 2. Like
It is. It is. I like
I'm not
PlayStation
gonna,
2.
Like fucking pay attention.
Yeah, it's
to
definitely the guy who's still playing 1992 video games,
He's like,
but enjoy
"Fucker."
it. Yeah.
There's some interesting. I like the Challenge Cup for its interesting matchups it has,
It's spicy down there.
but it's notorious for team dropping.
Um,
Like no, I think there's only like a handful. I think only the URC teams take the Challenge Cup serious.
no, Gloucester do.
And
It's
Gloucester.
USC teams and Gloucester. Who
Yeah.
fucking love a bit of Challenge Cup.
Teams like that's true, right? They're like fuck,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah, they've been in the final many times and they've won it a few times. Yeah, Gloucester
That's like
love a bit of Challenge Cup.
Gloucester shit
Yeah,
right there.
they love that shit.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, no, that's
So that's a fair point. Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about the whole European Cup generally and how it's been devalued because that's what the internet told me to think. But I agree, it's not a high end competition. How are you?
I'm hungover as fuck.
Yeah, you were shaking when you walked in.
I had so much to drink when I woke up this morning. I had the shakes,
Yeah,
so I
that's
had
alcohol
I
poisoning.
had some.
It is.
That is essentially. I tell you, that's
Yeah,
what being drunk is. You're
yeah.
poisoned.
Oh, 100%.
right?
Yeah.
So
at least you feel good when you're
yeah,
drunk.
had a birthday party to go to,
Yeah,
and it was like a beer tour,
yeah.
and we were just touring around. I didn't even know what. I don't ask me what breweries we went to because I can't remember.
Who fucking cares?
Yeah, and
No
it
one
was,
ever pays attention.
It was like it was a girl's birthday, and a lot of these girls were like that went on this beer tour don't drink beer.
What?
Or they're not big beer drinkers. So we kept getting these tasters, and they're like, "Oh, can you finish this for me? Can you finish?" So I was like, "Okay, sure."
Whose
Right?
idea was this?
So I was like, fucking like drinking everyone else's drinks too. So I had like mine,
Yeah.
and then I had like 3/4 or half of everyone else's, and it's like I was like by the first brewery, I was completely mangled.
And all these craft brewery beers, they're all the strength of fucking wines these days, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like, you get an IPA and it's like 9% or something.
Yeah.
Like, it just fucks you up, doesn't it?
Canadian beers, it's for real.
It's a global phenomenon. There's strong as fuck hazy IPAs,
Yeah.
which I like. But, you know, you have 2 pints and you're asleep with a headache. Like, so.
The sad thing though is since it was like a day thing, I missed the majority of all this exciting action.
Don't say majority. You missed every.
I did.
You missed everything.
I did miss it all.
So you need the internet
I was
to tell
looking
you
at the
what to think.
scores throughout the day too, and I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah,
I was like, like Cast and Benetton game.
that sounded good. I actually missed
I was
that
like, God
one. Yeah.
damn.
Yeah,
I
that
was like,
sounded good.
and the Munster La Rochelle, I wanted to watch that one so bad.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, fuck. I looked at the score and I'm like, it's like, the the rugby championship.
I'm aware of it.
Yeah, the games are on here in Canada, like where we live. They're on at like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So I try to stay out, or I try to go to bed, wake up, and watch them. And then I think before it was one of the first times that Argentina beat the All Blacks.
Yeah.
and I went to bed on it. I was like, "Fuck it, I'm not gonna watch this. All Blacks are just gonna."
Oh,
And
yeah.
it was in
I
New
remember you
Zealand or something
telling
like
me
that.
Yeah.
It was a game where they were in New Zealand,
Pablo Matera had the game of his life, didn't he?
and
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh fuck it, I'm not gonna get up. I'm not gonna wake up, back up, watch this. Like, I'm just gonna sleep."
Yeah.
I get up in the morning and I saw the score line,
Yeah.
and the Pumas won, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
"What the?" I was like, "Oh!" I was so mad. I was so mad. I missed that.
Yeah.
I would
yeah.
have been like, starry-eyed child.
screaming,
Yeah,
yeah.
like, oh.
You'd have lived off that for days, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and I fucking I hate when I miss that kind of stuff because
I-
you don't get that kind of Cinderella shit a lot,
No, you don't.
especially in sports.
No.
And I hate missing out on that kind of stuff.
It doesn't happen. I remember actually, when I lived in Japan. Obviously, the time zone was horrible, and I missed the Brighton Miracle. Right, Japan
Yeah.
beat South Africa when I lived in fucking Japan, and I remember waking up, checking my phone, and you know when you wake up and you check a result and you just think, oh, that's wrong, like the Google hasn't loaded it or something, and I was like, oh, that's definitely wrong. Close my phone, open up, the Japanese beat South Africa. Like, what the fuck did I missed history, you know?
Yeah.
I missed history because of time zones. It's a nightmare.
I watched that game. That was the 2015 World Cup. So that was the first Rugby World Cup I've ever watched.
Okay.
And that's right around when I started watching and getting into rugby.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand the significance of this win.
That might still be the biggest deal ever.
Yeah.
Might still be.
And I kind of feel like I wish I would have known because then it would have been such an amazing moment.
Yeah.
I just couldn't understand. I didn't get I didn't know the history of the teams. I didn't know the history of the Springboks the Boks really well. So when that happened, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, I guess. I didn't know the significance of it.
And you know rugby well now, and we have upsets still. That is still the most unpredictable upset in a significant game, you know? I think it still is.
That was
I'm struggling to think of an upset that's more surprising.
That's what I remember watching that and being like, wow, the All Blacks, like, they're such a small country. Man, they're just against all the odds here.
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I bet you no one's ever seen like this kind of like dominance before from a team. Like, they're just so good.
Yeah.
And like when they were going up against Australia, I just assumed Australia were a better team than the All
Because
Blacks.
there's a lot fucking more of them.
Yeah, and they're just like bigger country. So I just assumed like the All Blacks like scrape a win against Australia like once every once in a while.
Plucky underdogs.
Yeah, and when they were I was like, wow, this is incredible.
Yeah,
Like,
with their passionate tribal dance. Look at these guys against
I
the
had
odds.
no fucking idea. And everyone's cheering for fucking Australia and this thing. And I'm like,
Because we're sick of the All Blacks
I was
winning
like,
everything.
why are you guys cheering? Like, wouldn't you guys? I'm like, why are you guys everyone cheering for Australia? Like, wouldn't you want to cheer for the underdogs, the All Blacks? And they're
Yeah.
like, man, what the fuck are you talking about, Steve?
Yeah,
Like,
these guys win all the time.
yeah, it's the All Blacks show all the time. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh,
I mean, to be fair, it is still impressive. They've basically, you know, when a country turns their economy into a war economy and all they do is war.
Mm-hmm.
That's what New Zealand did with rugby. They just turned their country into a rugby economy. So and Lord of the Rings. you
yeah,
know.
they're like Canadians with hockey. Like these kids, like as soon as they're like walking, they have rugby balls.
Oh,
in
it's their
hand.
thing. It's their
They just
thing, right?
Fucking
Yeah.
balls all over them.
Yeah, it's just covered in balls
Yeah.
and egg-shaped balls.
All these tatty children just
Yeah.
covered with balls.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you could see, but yeah.
What the fuck are we talking about?
I can't remember. We were talking about something. We went off
we
on
just sort
trail.
of greeting each other, weren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's get back to the Champions Cup.
Okay.
And we were talking about.
Let's talk about the Champions Cup. As we're watching it, I should say Toulouse are currently playing to Sale, so I won't say the score if anyone. Actually, what am I fucking
Yeah, it's
talking
coming out
about?
tomorrow. So
Yeah,
let's
what the
get-
fuck am I talking about? Yeah.
what is it? not live.
Spoiler alert! It is live
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
31 Toulouse, Sale 15. So
Oh,
it's sad because Sale were winning at halftime. But I'd said, didn't I? I was like, wait till the fucking floodgates open. Well, this is currently what's happening.
this is turning into your typical Champions Cup. You got ever since I started watching this tournament, it just turns into when it gets to the knockout stages, URC teams and like maybe one Prem team and then a bunch of French teams.
I don't want to agree with you because the Champions Cup has changed. It has changed in the last 3 or 4 years.
It's changed every year I've watched it.
Yeah, and it's gotten worse, to be honest. Like, we'll talk about that.
Do you want to go through the games?
Yeah,
and
let's
chat
do
with
that.
the games?
Let's have a little gander at the results of the weekend, and discuss them.
Let's just go.
Let's go to Friday. We'll get the internet to tell us what we think.
The Friday night internet.
Thank God for Rugby Pass, to tell me some opinions.
So Friday, Northampton staying in the tournament, beat Claremont.
What do we think about that? What does the internet think?
What is the AI? What is
What is the significance of
Northampton?
Northampton?
Is it? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Where is Claremont in the top 14?
I think they're mid-table, aren't they?
Where are they? I want to see the top 14
Internet,
table.
where are the Claremont? Can you tell us about rugby, please?
I should have looked that
We
up
should have done any tiny bit of research to talk about this, really, shouldn't we?
because I wanted to see.
Claremont are in 6 out of 14 in the top 14, so they're doing okay. They're doing okay.
Northampton want this.
It's weird, isn't it? Because like Northampton are not doing well in the Prem, and their team is pretty impressive. Like I like their team on paper is one of the best in the Prem as far as I'm concerned. And yeah, clearly they want the Champions Cup more than they want the Prem right now. Or maybe that's just how the cards have fallen for them and they think, okay, well let's focus on one and not the other. You know?
I'm just like impressed. But I think their deal is done next week though.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, yeah.
So I don't know the Claremont team enough to look at it and be like, yeah,
it's not bad.
they sent their big boys there.
Yeah.
So I can't really like comment on that.
In a knockout stage, it's sad that you have to question that. It's sad that you have to question what quality of team they've sent. If it's not their best, they shouldn't be in the knockouts.
It hinders it because especially like if you don't know, like I don't know Claremont that well.
Fair enough. Me too.
And so I don't know like if this is like a significant win or if it's like like Northampton had this game.
Here's a convenient way to look at it, right? Whatever team Claremont put out, that's a significant win for Northampton because they're now into a quarterfinal of the Champions Cup. And that means they've still got everything to play. You know, fuck any team who sends a B team at this stage of the competition, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about that a bit more and give the opposite view, but
because you should
you
die.
you should take this fucking
Get
seriously.
Murder charge.
Yeah.
Give them a fucking because you should. I totally agree. Like you should be taking this. This is the top. This is the top of the top.
This is the best club competition in the world. It's supposed TM, right? Ironic TM. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be the best club competition. So if you're not taking it seriously, you get fucked. So congrats Northampton is my original opinion.
The one thing too about like, even though like Northampton are like sitting like third last or like 8th place out of 10, the Premiership is still pretty like a competitive league. Where even like a team at the bottom, like they're not far away from. Well, they are. They're
Newcastle.
Yeah, they're not totally far away from like even like making it to the top 4. I think
It's
at
not
this stage they are now.
Yeah.
But throughout the season, like a lot of the teams like stayed pretty competitive.
Yeah. It wasn't as competitive as last year, where every result was very high scoring, but 2 or 3 points difference. There's definitely been some lopsided results this year, but
a game where that like really takes place, where you're questioning the B team, Saracens versus Toulon, 72-42.
Yeah.
This is like fucking some super rugby scores here. 72 points in how many minutes? When did Toulon score their first try? Because I think it was almost half where is the breakdown here?
It was neck and neck. Well, it wasn't neck and neck, but it was relatively low scoring for.
They went from fucking. What was it here? 7-0-14, 72 points. So I know the Saracens didn't send their A squad to this.
Oh, no, they said they didn't publicly, which was kind of fucking stupid.
We're not really trying.
Yeah.
So kind of good on Saracens.
That's what you said earlier. I still think, conceding 72 points.
Conceding 42 points.
Yeah, but it's different, isn't it? When you're... No, maybe you're right. Yeah.
Like, they should have been...
Anything over 50 is embarrassing. I don't care how many you scored. If you concede over 50 points... And I'm Welsh, so I can say that, right? If we concede over 50 points, fuck off,
Because this was... it was just a fucking try, like... like a trifecta. Like
Yeah.
holy fuck! Like just looking at these like what's this Jamine?
Yeah.
Like his boot was like on fire. It was working the whole game.
Yeah.
Like he's got to be icing that thing right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
They got this special foot bath that comes out for him.
And it's probably going to fuck up his kick percentage because I'm statistically going to miss a couple of those. And that's just ruining your percentage, really.
I'm just
Just 'cause you have
surprised.
to kick so fucking often.
Yeah, I'm just surprised the Saracens just like kind of like drop this. Like the Champions Cup is kind of their thing.
Yeah, I mean, they just don't. Maybe I'll start to talk about the broader implications here generally, right? Like the results from this weekend are screaming financial and resource imbalance to me, right? This is not how a Champions Cup knockout stage should look. It's never looked like this historically. It's sad really because this is supposed to be the best club competition in the world. You have teams who are openly stating we're not taking it seriously and conceding 70 points. You have teams getting nilled.
The thing about that though, because the Leinster and Harlequins game was
Yeah.
the Harlequins didn't put out a B team.
No, they didn't.
They went out there
No,
like
they did not.
you know with their their hands on their hearts, like
Yeah.
let's do this, boys. But they were like,
They didn't put
Fuck.
they put their hands on the fucking ball enough. Jesus.
yeah,
Well, okay. So you want to say anything else about Saracens though? Like, cause
no, there really
I don't
wasn't
think
much.
so.
To, like,
Not
take on
really.
this game.
Not really. I mean, it was a fun game.
Yeah,
But considering the stakes of the game, it made it not fun.
Yeah,
I
they kinda-
couldn't enjoy it because it was, I could see who was going to win at a certain point.
Mhm.
And after that, it was like, yeah, there's back and forth tries. But it feels like a training exercise then, doesn't it? This is a game that's supposed to draw in a sellout crowd. This is supposed to be an advertisement for the game globally. It's supposed to be a way to bring in new fans. It's supposed to be, rivalry, excitement. It was none of those things.
I think if you're a fair weather fan
Mm,
and you don't know,
yeah.
like there's probably a lot of fans that didn't know the Saracens what they were doing.
Yeah.
So they probably got a pretty exciting game.
I guess so. But when you're clear by 30 points, it's obvious who's going to win, isn't it? Like
Mhm.
so. Yeah, I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy about
Just
that.
the money is ruining it.
Kind of. Yeah, I do think that.
The money
that
is
voice.
ruining it.
That's how it sounds in my head when I think it. Yeah. Next game.
Leinster 62-0 Harlequins. Poor fucking what's his nuts?
Danny Wilson.
No, who's the fly half for Harlequins?
Marcus Smith.
Marcus Smith looked sad. He looked fucking sad.
Well, because
on
the
that-
guy he's fighting with for a Lions plane ticket is just absolutely eviscerating him,
Watching Sam Prendergast on the field,
Mm.
fuck, I just can't talk enough about him.
You're going to, though, so go ahead.
Yes, I am.
Go ahead.
He looks like Finn Russell out there.
Yeah, because he's playing behind the strongest pack on the planet.
Yeah. Oh, okay, whatever. Sorry.
What did you?
Yeah.
What did you want me to sit here and go? Yeah, I agree with
Yeah,
you.
Dan Cotta's not really good because he was just playing around a great team. So, that's
Maybe I agree with you. Maybe I agree. Maybe I agree.
the talk of the town for this Leinster team was that a lot of people were saying that this team
Mm.
would beat the Ireland team.
This team would win a World Cup.
I
Yeah, it would.
agree with
Yeah,
that.
it would. If they could beat South Africa.
Just bringing having like the RG Simon's like,
He's a cheat code, isn't he?
is he better than Eben Etzebeth?
He is at club level. Undoubtedly better at club level. Yeah, I don't know at international level because what Etzebeth brings that Snyman doesn't is passion and leadership, right? He's screaming at people. He's a real captain.
I don't know if I agree with you on that.
Well,
I definitely
I've never
club level-
seen
definitely
Snyman looking
club
like a
level,
yeah.
but when it gets to international level, like it's like his time to shine.
And I agree that Snyman could be the new main character in the Springboks team. I agree that could happen. We could see a changing of the guard at lock. But the thing is, they're playing together. How fucking scary is that?
That's the worst.
They're not competing.
That's the crazy.
They're playing
shit.
next to each other,
Like
right?
I just
They're
can't
both
imagine
incredible.
being a rugby player, just get on the field and seeing those two giant
Yeah.
fucks like walk out.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you got to go to war with those guys.
They wade through guys like you're wading through a river, you know? They just arms in the air, ball in one hand, stepping through people like they're stepping through quicksand, Oh, I just rhymed, I think.
And
yeah.
just to see his like RG Snyman's like transformation throughout the years, The guy keeps like getting bigger.
He gets bigger.
Like he's getting wider, bigger. Like when
Yeah.
he first came on the scene, he was like a taller, skinnier guy.
he was rangy rather than
Yeah.
built. Now he's put on some weight.
Yeah,
And
now
he's not young exactly. He's not like brand new to the scene. But I know exactly what you mean. Before he just looked like a giraffe, didn't he? And now he's like a monster. Like he looks muscly and Viking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They
yeah.
put on, and then having like Jordy Barrett on Leinster team too.
on the
he's-
fucking bench.
Yeah, he really shows what the Kiwis are bringing to rugby
Yeah.
because his field vision is unreal.
It's an IQ and a quickness to execute that. Like they'll
Yeah.
see the gap a few plays ahead and know where to be to execute it at speed. Yeah, it's incredible.
I swear to God, it's like the number one thing they practice in New Zealand.
Well,
Like these, since they're like a child, is like just finding open space and
yeah.
like this, like because it's just their IQ. Like it's insane.
That's the
And
reason.
he's visibly, you could visibly see his intelligence on the field.
You can totally. And the crazy thing is, at that level, there's not a lot of space on the field, and he still finds acres of it, doesn't he? That's what's impressive about him. And the thing is, if I was going to be a bit like geeky and analytical, playing really deep whilst your 10 is playing close to the line gives you that space.
Yeah.
And him being in the right position, the right width and depth from his first receiver is the incredible thing for me. Another thing Kiwis do well, Damien McKenzie does this well as well, is just the turn of pace. They can take it standing and accelerate into space incredibly.
Yeah.
So much better than other
They
players
have a lot
can.
of explosive speed
That's
on
the
the
word.
field.
It's like an NFL
They shock
guy, right?
That's how they shock the teams.
They do, because you don't expect a guy taking a ball standing to accelerate into space that quickly. You're not ready for it,
Because he does that like, I swear, like he does like that Terminator scan of the field in
Yeah.
like a second.
Yeah.
And then boom, he picks
gone.
his spot and
Yeah.
he's like, boom, this is
Yeah.
my, he's like weighing the odds.
Yeah.
You have a 90%
Yeah.
chance of this. Okay, boom. And he's gone.
Initiate, attack, execute, gone. Yeah. It's incredible. Oh, yeah. And
I honestly can't see anyone beating Leinster going forward.
we've said, many have said this. It does feel like this year, though, they
This
have
is a
all the right
different-
ingredients. you know?
Yes.
Not just that as well, but they are just like, the momentum is unreal.
Unless something like catastrophic happens.
Mm.
To
They
them-
do love shitting the bed, though, Leinster and Ireland, though, don't they? They do
do.
love a late minute shit of the bed.
They do. It's like, hey guys, this is the game we need to win.
Yeah, and then
Fuck you.
don't worry, guys. Cian Healy, Peter Marnie, and Conor Murray are all retiring today, and we're playing at home to a sellout crowd. So the momentum and occasion couldn't be bigger. So don't fuck it up.
A game I wish I would have watched and I missed was Cast versus Benetton.
I wish I watched that game. That sounded fun. Yeah.
Fuck's sakes.
I know. And
This looks
Benetton,
awesome.
that's the team I want to give massive credit to, because they don't have all the resources. Yeah, they've got a lot of the Italian team, if not most of the Italian team, but
Mhm.
they do play with real confidence. They clearly have a really good plan. I do love watching them play now, like good fair play to them. So bit sad about that.
Yeah, when I first started watching URC or whatever it was called, Top 12 or Pro 12 or whatever
The
it was
Pro
called.
Celtic 12
Yeah,
Magnus
The
League.
Guinness, the
Yeah.
Guinness Pro Celtic
Yeah.
League. They were like them and Zebre were just a
They
shit.
were dog shit.
Yeah, they
And
were
so
dog
Edinburgh.
shit.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were awful.
Benetton's got to be the team. The number one team I've seen the biggest team transformation since I've started watching rugby.
Yeah. Glasgow. No, Glasgow won the
Glasgow have
Pro,
always been
Pro
pretty-
12 a
yeah.
while ago. They've always been there. Yeah, no, you're right. You might be right.
I can't think of
Argentina might be another one.
yes, in international,
Yeah.
but for the club level, I can't think of another team that's like turned it around or grew into their shoes. I don't know.
Yeah,
what term I'm
yeah.
looking
Grow
for.
into their shoes is the right way, because it's
Yeah.
not exactly a turnaround, is it? Because there wasn't much expectation.
No, you're just expecting them to lose.
Yeah, and then they won the Rainbow Cup,
The Rainbow Cup champ.
and they've just never fucking looked back. They still continue
We could do this, guys.
with the Rainbow Champions.
We can fucking do this.
Yeah, the Rainbow Champions. Yeah. So yeah,
I would
I've got
love them
time
to
for Benetton.
win the URC. That would be crazy.
It could happen.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen this year.
No,
but,
it's not going to happen this year.
I don't think it's going to happen when. I hate to be the grim realist as well, but the disparity in resources. Going back to the Champions Cup, right? Like, it's becoming like Premier League football now. Like it really is getting to the point where there's going to be 4 or 5 teams who are the top all the fucking time.
I think you got Leinster,
Yeah.
but once you go from Leinster after that, like when you drop from Leinster, the teams look pretty. It's pretty competitive.
I guess I mean,
below Leinster, the teams get pretty like. It gets pretty competitive after Leinster.
It does, but that gap is massive, and I'm more talking about Europe generally. I'm talking about the Champions Cup a bit more because like there's 2 or 3 French teams now who just have fuck you money, and Leinster have the entire national team plus a World Cup winner and some other amazing guy. Like the gap between the top and what's left is insane.
I've seen Bordeaux has the 6th highest budget in the top 14.
Yeah.
So like they're pretty much mid-table with their money spending.
Yeah.
Toulouse is like on top.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was kind of, and then Stade Francais.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, geez, guys, like you're spending all that money and this is where you're at. Like, holy fuck.
I mean, Racing historically as well. They just spent all that money for fucking nothing.
So I don't know. To see Benetton go against these Giants and like cast.
Give them a good old game.
Give them a good old. And this is away.
Yeah.
They almost won this away.
Yeah.
In Cast,
like you
where
have
they
said
really
before,
care.
Cast don't lose at home.
No,
they just don't lose at home.
So
come fight us, like
that would have been a significant win.
Yeah, it would have.
Second game I really would have watched. My boys Munster.
Yeah,
took away a win from La Rochelle.
Yeah, good for them. I wish I would have watched that game. It's weird because it's like Ronan O'Gara is the pride of the south of Ireland, and he won a game against La Rochelle with a drop kick.
Oh, I didn't
think
know
that's
that.
right. And then Jack Crowley comes along, does the same old thing. So I do wonder if Ronan O'Gara has a tear of pride in his eye, or if he's still just trying to fight a referee at the end. I don't know.
Also, Ronan O'Gara was trying hard a couple of years ago or a year ago to get Jack Crowley over to La Rochelle.
Yeah, he was.
Like, he wanted him bad.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack Crowley's like, fuck you, here's my boot. Boom.
Yeah.
Drops a drop.
Yeah, he does.
Like, I don't. Do you think La Rochelle's struggling? Like, I think they're like 10th or 11th in the top 14.
Yeah.
This isn't the La Rochelle from like a year ago.
No, there's a bit of
2 years ago.
I was just saying to you earlier, there's a bit of a Pat Lam arc going on with Ronan O'Gara. Like he's the new kid on the block. He's fresh. He's exciting. He's got these incisive ideas, and then the momentum seems to slip away a bit, and then some of his players leave, and he hasn't got as much resources as he once had. And you think, were you as good as we thought, or was it all about the groundswell and the money and all the other things? But having said that, La Rochelle...
Is he the head coach or is he just the director of rugby?
I believe he's the head coach.
Because
I don't know. I don't speak French.
I'm concerned about where his role is, because when they were doing really, really good, he was the head coach. But then he moved into... He did what happened... You know what? This is exactly like Pat Lam.
Yeah.
Because Pat Lam...
He was the director, wasn't he?
Moved into... like the director of rugby afterwards, and that's when things kind of fell apart.
Well, Pat Lam's Bristol fell apart because they genuinely lost a lot of good players and resources. Mm-hmm. So I'm not blaming him as such. I'm just saying, is it the coach or is it what you've got to work with, Because contrary to that, look how Munster used Snyman, right? And Dale Ende. They burned them on a barbecue. But look what Leinster have got out. They're doing something right with the coaching at Leinster because they get the best out of their good players.
Well, they've gotten when it comes to RG Snyman, they just got lucky that he didn't burn himself on a barbecue and he didn't blow, because he blew out his knee like 2 times at Munster.
I know, and when he did play for Munster, he was actually quite good for the 12 minutes he played right at the end of the season when they won the URC, by the way.
And to take that into account too. Wasn't it? Oh, fuck. Who was the coach for Munster before? It was Roundtree, Plumtree, with some tree.
One of the apple tree.
One of the trees, guys.
Graham Roundtree.
Yeah. And during like RG's time at Munster, this was when the rumors were going hard that he was like overcooking his players at practice, like just running them to the ground.
Well, and then barbecuing them after.
Throwing them on the grill. So
I'll show you a bra, can't.
Like, it's kind of, you kind of put 2 and 2 together. Maybe like this is like he goes to Leinster and they're taking way more care of him.
Yeah.
Instead of just like working him to the bone.
If you go to Leinster, every day off, you're just bathed in olive oil by a harem of beautiful women with a little boy with a leaf fan. They've got the resources. They look after you.
Bring my grapes. Yeah. Come and sing a song.
Come on, peel my grapes, me boy.
Yeah.
Or I'll put you on the bra.
So Yeah, I think these two teams, like La Rochelle and Munster, are kind of in the same spot strength wise. They were looked pretty equal on the field.
I was going to say La Rochelle's lineup is impressive, right? And you've got the French captain in your back row, so it's still a good team. Down on their luck a bit. Munster though actually I'm agreeing with you in all sense, because Munster have had a turbulent time. They've lost their head coach for no real reason, and they're still doing okay. Actually, they've climbed back up the table in the URC. And now they're in a quarter-final. And Munster, you've got to remember, have caliber in the Champions Cup. Regardless of their club season, they will turn up for a Champions Cup game. You know, they know how to win those games. So, I agree.
It's kind of like it's kind of the same mentality when it comes to World Cups and like the Springboks
and the All Blacks.
Yeah, they just know how to they know how to do that tournament.
Yes. And it does count for something, doesn't it? You can see it does count for something. Knockout rugby, yeah. What were we saying about that game though? I don't know. I don't think Ronan O'Gara is a bad coach. I just don't think he's the key to beating Leinster that he used to be, you know? Because he used to be like, no one else can beat Leinster, but I can. Here's how you do it.
He must be under a lot of pressure there. They got to be putting the pressure on him.
Yeah, I think so.
Results.
I think with that team,
because he's already been making like multiple comments about him like wanting an international job, doing international duties.
That's true. Yeah.
I think when a coach starts publicly talking like that, he's got like one foot out the door.
And even if they don't, your guys are going to be like, "What the fuck?
Yeah,
I thought you liked this.
What am I, chopped liver, daddy?
Yeah.
Come on, daddy.
Yeah.
Daddy O'Gara. What did you learn French for?
Going to go back to my secret family in Cork. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. It seems like that. Maybe the passion is gone. Maybe he is going to Munster. Who the fuck knows? But it sounds like he wants an international job, doesn't it?
Yeah, he wants
but not the Wales one, as he said. And you know what? Fuck him.
No.
Don't want you either, mate.
I don't think he'd be a good fit.
No, he wouldn't.
He's a good coach.
He is a good coach. Yeah,
but having an Irish guy lead the Welsh team, the optics.
I wouldn't mind that.
You wouldn't mind the optics?
No.
Like, wouldn't you want like yeah, but Steve, what's his name? Steve Sherp.
We haven't had a Welsh guy in a long fucking time.
When was the last time there was a Welsh guy in the head of the Welsh rugby?
I think it was Rob Howley during the interim for when Gatlin was coaching the Lions.
Okay, well, like a full-time.
Like a proper one.
Yeah, proper.
Mike Ruddock. Is it in 2005?
So it's been a long time.
Well, you've got to remember, Gatlin was in charge for most of my adult life. Mm-hmm. So it's hard to sort of say anything but that. But yeah, I don't know. A long time. 2005, I think. About 10, 20.
Like there's been enough growth in professional rugby now that there should be coaches that are good for each nation.
There are. They just don't like to stay in Wales. They just don't like to stay. We had Mark Jones, who's coaching in the Crusaders. We've got Robin McBride, who coaches in Leinster. Mm-hmm. And we've got Steve Tandy, who coaches at Scotland. Like, we have coaches. They just don't want to be at home. You know? They don't like Wales, and I don't blame them right now.
Last game on Saturday, Glasgow, 43-19 to Leicester Tigers.
Mona Glasgow.
They fucking fucked up Leicester.
Fucking right.
They made Cheika question reality.
That was funny, wasn't it? He's like, yeah, I don't know what happened there, really. Like, we practiced loads and we did kicks and passes. I sound like a Kiwi. I mean, he's just started scratching his head like,
I had no idea what happened, mate.
Yeah, it's now idea. There we go. That's
he looked shocked.
He did.
He just didn't understand what he's like, how
it's like he didn't know who Glasgow were. It's like, this is the URC champion, mate. Like, you just take him seriously.
It's like, you're in the game.
How did they beat us? I don't know. Some Scottish team. Like, fucking hell can't. Like,
yeah, Glasgow just showed up to play.
Glasgow play with fucking scary intensity. Yeah. They all look angry as fuck when they play. Like,
high energy, high pace.
Yeah. Just going into contact, they look like they want to murder people. I love it as well. I fucking love it. They are passionate as fuck. Yeah,
and they got my favorite player right now, George Horn, on the team. I can't talk enough about him.
Your historical revisionism of George Horn.
He looks like he just reminds me when he's playing of Aaron Smith.
He is very good.
Like, he's always hunting for that for something to like cook.
Yeah.
He's always looking for something to do.
Yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah,
always
yeah.
busy. Like the
That
guy you
energy.
want on the field all
Yeah,
the time.
Yeah, he's a real 9 in the sense that he's just hungry and a little bastard and sniping. A good 9, you should be scared to take your eye off him at every single breakdown because he could snipe, right? You know,
And he's a
could.
sniper.
He is, absolutely. Yeah, he is, absolutely.
And he's just like, fuck, he's so good. He has to go on Lions tour. He has to. Like, I'd be so
I kind
shocked.
of agree now. I kind of agree. I think he may have leapfrogged everyone but Jameson Gibson Parkinson.
Jameson, Gibsons, and Parkinsons.
He's still the top Jameson Gibson Parkinsons, yeah. But George Horn could have leapfrogged. You know, last week I took the piss because you were like, hey, remember how I've been talking about George Horn for 10 years and no one's listened to me? And I was like, shut the fuck up. I agree with the sentiment. He's really good, though. And I think you could see him on the Lions tour now, yeah. Playing his way in fast. But yeah, good for Glasgow, man. I'm not going to write him off this year. In fact, I don't think next week will be a hammering Glasgow-Leinster. I think Glasgow will, at minimum, give them a good game. At best, win. They could win.
They could win. This is knockout rugby.
And they play Leinster, don't they? They know who they are, you know? So it's not like they're an unknown quantity for Glasgow, right?
So this is going to be, because they're going to throw everything at this game.
We have to fucking watch this game, don't we?
We do have
this
to watch
this is the pin in the fucking the board, this one.
Today, Bordeaux.
Speaking of board.
They beat Ulster. Ulster put up a good fight.
Good for fucking Ulster.
Like we're gonna, they've been
good for Ulster.
They're having a little renaissance.
They are. I mean, because they were shocked. And then even last week I was saying like they've almost kind of jammed their way up the URC table, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just scraping wins and getting 5 points from each game. But their attack when it is firing, and this is always why I've loved Ulster because they will throw the ball around and they're accurate and they're hungry and I love watching them attack. So good for them to put up a fight. I mean, because I think everyone expected a fucking pummeling, didn't they?
No, and they kind of stepped up.
Yeah.
If they would have played any other team, they could have won.
Oh, definitely.
If they weren't playing like the big three,
yeah,
or the big four, I don't know who I'd put up with the big Bordeaux, Toulouse, Leinster, and
if you
Glasgow,
consider
maybe now,
I mean, if you'd have put the other guys in that, Munster, Glasgow, who else is through now? There's another fucking team, Castres. They could beat Castres as long as it wasn't at home.
No,
because no one beats Castres at
they
home.
don't beat that at home.
But yeah, like that the Ulster performance, it would have beaten just what you said. It would have beaten everyone except the two French teams in Leinster, I think. Yeah. So yeah, good for Ulster.
And then Toulouse put on a pounding on sale. Just like this just ended.
Game's finished.
Yeah, 38-15, and now we're left with. What are you supposed to say this game? Like Toulouse are going to win this game all day.
Well, Sharks are up by 2 points at halftime.
They're just warming up. Just stretching.
They are, and that's very Toulouse, isn't it? Like they'll lull you into a false sense of security, then put 50 points on you in the last 20 minutes.
So they got another, 7 players? What's on the bench? 7 or 8 players? Yeah, 7 players.
8 players on the bench.
No, it's 7.
You can have a 7-1 split, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, 8 players. So, they just got another 8 stars to bring on.
Yeah.
So they're like, whatever, just warming up, getting loose.
My question to you is, does the size of Leinster's beating of Harlequins versus the size of Bordeaux and Toulouse's beatings of their respective opponents mean that Leinster are not only going to win, but going to actually put in an impressive victory when they meet these guys? If they meet these guys, because Glasgow will have something to say about it.
I feel like, yes.
Is this the year? Is this because it really does feel like the year for Leinster now, doesn't it?
Oh, it felt like the last 5 years was Leinster's year.
Yeah,
So,
but like now they've gone and kind of welded machine guns to their arms. Like it's like, okay, they've done everything they possibly can now. Like if they don't win this, that is the best team in the world. That is the best club team in the world, right? You can't argue with that.
You can't.
It's just, they've sucked the other provinces dry of talent. Then they've gone shopping elsewhere. They haven't done that. I'm joking.
But when it comes to knockout rugby, I feel like it's anyone's games. Anyone's game still.
Yeah. And that's to me why it would be funny if they lost.
It would be funny.
Fucking
if they lost.
hilarious.
If they lost, it would be. There's a lot of people that dislike Leinster a lot.
Oh, guilty. Yeah.
Yeah, so like they're an easy team to like.
They're the Patriots.
Are they the new bad guys in rugby?
They're not. I think. Oh, it was Saracens with the club bad guys
were
for a
the
while.
bad guys. They were like,
Yeah.
we're playing the role of the bad
I
guys.
think
here.
Toulon with the club bad guys for a while there as
Yeah.
well, especially because their owner Boujalal was a piece of shit and was always yelling at players and throwing shoes at them and things.
So I would say like they're the big boys. Everyone hates them.
Yeah.
Everyone wants them to fall.
Yeah, they're the rich money kids.
Yeah.
They're the richy rich, thinking they pulled themselves up by their bootstraps.
So I right now like it'd be crazy to put your money on a different team.
I think they would go into any finalist
It's a very
favourites.
safe bet.
But wouldn't it be funny if Glasgow beat them though?
It would be.
And it'd
I
be
would love
amazing. Oh,
for Glasgow to beat them.
Me too.
But if Glasgow, because when it comes to the Champions Cup,
Yeah,
I have my teams,
yeah.
but then I have my leagues that I cheer for.
Okay.
So that's how I break it down. I'll have my teams that I want to win,
Uh-huh.
and then after that, it comes down to
You want
like,
a URC team to win.
I want to. So if Glasgow do beat Leinster, they have to win the Champions Cup.
You've still got Munster.
It'll be such a fucking waste.
You've still got Munster.
I don't think Munster are strong enough to win the Champions Cup.
I don't know. They've got caliber. Their squad isn't as good, but they can dig deep.
Yeah, Munster could win the Champions Cup. Yes, they
Yeah.
could win the URC. Sure,
Mm-hmm.
but I just don't think I just don't think they can.
I understand what you're saying.
Like they can
Yeah.
do it, but in reality, I just don't see them doing it.
Fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
So if Glasgow do take out Leinster,
Yeah.
they have to go and win the Champions Cup.
So me and you, we're gonna go to Cardiff. We'll be there
Yeah.
live on fucking
Mhm.
on location. Who do you want to see in the final? Like, what would just be a spectacle for you? Forget.
I want to see Leinster Toulouse, but I don't know how the bracket looks for these quarterfinals.
I think that's possible.
Like I want if I could see the bracket, I would know.
I think that's possible.
Like, did they have the bracket?
Yeah, I was trying to find like the knockout graphic.
Yeah, that's the bracket
For
thing.
both of them the other day,
Yeah.
and because it's still in the last, what do you call it, the last thingy-majigger, they don't. Hang on, I'm going to tell you now though. 2025.
Because that would make. Then we can have an idea. We could literally see. You could see and make a good idea right now who we're gonna see. Because ideally, right now, I would want to see Leinster and Toulouse.
Okay, let me tell you a different way then, right?
Okay.
If that didn't matter, who would you like to see?
I would like to see Leinster Toulouse.
Why?
Because those are the two best teams in Europe.
I agree.
Like, who wouldn't want to see that?
I agree. And I'm kind of leading up to some. Okay, I'm going to tell you. So on the right hand side, you're going to have Leinster.
You found this?
I did.
Yeah.
So next week we're going to have Leinster Glasgow.
Yeah.
And then next week also on the right, we're going to have Northampton and Castra. Okay? So Leinster have got a bit of an easy run in there, right? And immediately we know a Toulouse Leinster final is possible.
Oh, so
it's
that's
possible.
definitely. So, like, who's Toulouse playing next week?
So next
Toulouse is
week on the
playing-
left, we've got Toulouse Toulon.
Toulouse, Toulon?
Yes.
The TTs?
The TTs. The French. In fact, the left side is now. No, it's not all French teams because Munster beat La Rochelle. So on the left, you've got Bordeaux versus Munster and Toulouse versus Toulon. So yeah, a Leinster-Toulouse final or a Leinster-Bordeaux final is not just possible, but likely, I would say.
So I'm gonna see this. I'm gonna see this through right here now.
Okay.
Okay. So you got Northampton going to. No, you got Cast going to Northampton, right?
Right.
So I'm gonna say Cast. They're gonna send a shitty team because that's what they do because they're too busy smoking cigarettes, and they're gonna send a shitty team. Northampton
So you're
go.
saying Northampton win?
Northampton beat Cast.
I could see that.
Leinster beat Glasgow.
Okay.
So you have Northampton and Leinster.
Yeah.
Toulouse and Bordeaux go
No,
ahead.
Toulouse and Toulon.
Yeah, but Toulouse beat Toulon.
Okay.
They go.
And then Bordeaux beat Munster, do they?
Bordeaux beat Munster.
Okay.
And then you have Leinster just put a fucking pounding on Northampton.
Yeah.
And
It's
Toulouse
true.
and
It's so
Bordeaux, it will be a fucking firefight.
Yeah. And then everyone will be injured.
And I will take on Toulouse, and you have a Leinster-Toulouse final.
Just like last year.
Wow,
Just like last year.
Then crazy. And then you got the
Okay.
Clash of Titans.
See how you're excited now? That's how the Champions Cup should feel for the whole fucking thing, right?
Yes, it doesn't count. It's just like it's too.
It's too much rugby.
Yeah.
It's literally too much rugby. This is the point I was going to make, right? There is too much fucking rugby in the Northern Hemisphere right now. We don't need we don't need the thing that happens before a fucking quarterfinal. I can't remember what it's called, the last 16 or whatever. We don't need it, right? And we don't need these massive pool stages. And a lot of Welsh guys will be like, oh, but we don't get to be in the Champions. We're not good enough to be in the Champions Cup. The Champions Cup is for good teams. That is, and fucking full stop, you know?
Yeah.
Full stop. If you're not a good fucking team who desperately wants to win this, get fucked. When they're talking about South Africa not
wanna get into this
competing,
too.
right? When we're talking about South Africa not being competitive, I'm getting over the fact that I don't like them being in the Champions Cup. I'm getting over it. But I'm not getting over the fact that this should be a competition that not only is the best, but you take seriously. If you don't take it seriously, get the fuck out of here, you know?
I feel like with the South Africa, because there's no South African teams left.
No.
They only won 3. How many?
Yeah,
was
their
it?
group stage game wins were crap, weren't they?
Yes.
It was embarrassing. Yeah.
And I think for the health of South African rugby,
Yeah.
they step out of the European Champions Cup.
It would be better for everyone.
It would be better for these South African players to take a fucking break.
And I think they like the Curry. If you like the Curry Cup
Yeah.
more than you like the Champions Cup, you shouldn't be in the Champions Cup, right? And that's no disrespect to the Curry Cup. That's your domestic competition. I respect the fact you fucking love that. But as a European, I fucking love the Champions Cup. I want it to be good. And it's not their fault. The format is the problem. And it's not feasible. There is a massive gap in resources and wealth now between the top and the bottom teams in that competition.
Yeah, but I won't say that these because
But there's too many games.
I thought that there wasn't a lot of money in South Africa for rugby.
Oh, they got money.
They got money.
Yeah,
So,
they do. They do.
It's the player welfare it's coming down to.
It is. That's what I'm saying. It's too many games. That
There's
is
too
a
many games,
yeah.
especially for like the South Africans, because
Yeah.
these some of these guys are playing rugby all year
all
round,
the fucking
no
time.
break.
And
I
then
was
they
like,
have to go on their vacation to Japan where they play another 20 games, you know?
Like I would love to have these South African teams in the Champions Cup
Yeah.
because it raises the bar of the
It does.
competition. I like that, but
But it
in
hasn't, though,
reality,
has it?
it's not translating
No.
into a healthy product for them.
No, I 100% agree.
Like they're scrambling to, they're scrambling to get their top players to play in the right games because they're just playing so much
They're
fucking
playing too
rugby.
much fucking rugby. They really are. And it's not like they have a depth issue in terms of quality players in South Africa. They produce talent like no one's business. They just do not have... they don't have the infrastructure at those clubs yet to cycle them effectively, do they? And the thing is, with respect to them, and I mean this like with respect, they're only using South African players, right? They're not Leinster who are buying in, and even better example, they're not the French teams who their top players in some cases aren't even French guys, right?
Yeah.
And their top players in Leicester aren't even Irish guys. South Africans, to their credit, don't do that. They will produce enough fucking South Africans, they'll never need to import a Fijian to the Sharks or whatever,
No.
right? Good for them, but they haven't quite got the infrastructure to recycle that effectively yet, right? During international windows, every single one of those guys is playing for the Springboks.
Yeah, because their
right?
top players are playing all the time.
Exactly, yeah.
So to get these, it's just like when you're looking at it, like I love having them there. I think it's cool.
Yeah,
But
agree.
in reality, like the South Africans,
it's just
in
not
the Champions-
logistical.
Yes, it's just not. They need a break.
They do.
Give these guys a break.
And I think everyone
And I
needs
think
a break.
the Champions Cup is a good spot for these guys to just to take a step back,
Or,
get a breather.
you know, like I said last week, the URC is 2 games longer than the rugby, Super Rugby, and Super Rugby doesn't have the Champions Cup, right?
No,
They got the Rugby Championship and Super Rugby, which is 2 rounds shorter than just the URC. We play too much rugby. If we talk about player welfare, such a fucking cliche by now. Talk about player welfare. Obviously, we don't give a shit about it. Obviously, we care more about money than player welfare. Let's make the competition good then. And to do that, we get rid of the last round of 16 and we get rid of the pools. We get rid of a team from each pool. We're doing fine, you know?
I would get rid of.
Get rid of the pool stages.
I would get rid of the pool stages.
100%.
And you can just go straight to you could do a fucking 2024 team knockout right away.
Yeah, 100%.
Boom, right
Yeah,
in there.
agree,
And then the teams that want to
agree.
be in there could stay in.
And we know who wants to be there because you
Yeah.
only got one chance to prove it, haven't you?
Yeah.
So you better play fucking well.
So and then the stakes are high.
Yep.
too.
Yeah.
Like right away, every weekend,
Yeah.
every time there's a Champions Cup weekend,
Yeah.
it's like the stakes are
I
high.
couldn't agree more.
Because the pool stages for the rugby for the Champions Cup, it's really the only purpose of them is to because like everyone gets in now to the round of 16. Like
Yeah.
everyone like fucking I think what 4 teams,
Yeah.
one team from each pool doesn't make it.
Yeah.
These games are just for selling tickets.
100%.
They're just for making money.
They are.
That's the only reason why they want it.
Yeah.
They have these pool stages. Like we don't need these pool stages. Like get rid of these weekends.
Yeah.
We don't need them. Just make it a knockout stage, and that's it.
And you know what's crazy about this, right? Is we say there's not enough money in rugby, which is true, and then we look at things like NHL, soccer, football, basketball. These guys play their games sometimes 3 times a week, right? Sometimes an NHL team will play a game 3 times a week,
Or
right?
4 times sometimes.
Right. And a soccer team will play sometimes twice a week. And they're looking at that going, look how much money they make. They're playing frequently. It's not possible with rugby. And how do I know that? Because you look at the NFL, it's not possible in the NFL either. You
No.
cannot play a physical, violent contact sport like rugby or American football that frequently. You just have to make the games higher stakes. That's where you get your money from.
Yeah.
If I sell out because I know I've got the biggest French motherfucker coming to town,
Yeah.
I'm going to sell every ticket, right? Whereas if I've got Gloucester versus Bordeaux midweek in rainy fucking Gloucester, I'm going to sell out. Well, to be fair to Gloucester, they always sell out. But, you know, my point is like, I'm not going to sell as many tickets. Quality, not quantity, right? We're not going to compete with the NHL and soccer in those terms of frequency, you know?
Yeah, I think just less. It's kind of weird being a huge fan of rugby and asking for less.
We need it. We
Yeah.
desperately need it.
Because you're seeing top players getting worn out.
Yeah.
Especially the South Africans. Like I'm actually surprised that this hasn't taken a toll yet.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to see, I really believe you're going to see a South African collapse. And
Like an individual or the country?
not the country, but the team, like the Springboks collapse. I bet you it's going to come. It's going to come next year or this year.
Yeah.
But and they're going to be like, oh, what's going on? And like, these guys are just fucking worn out, injured. They're just overcooked.
But on the flip side, they're not, because they're resting players during important fixtures, right? They are going, actually, we're not going to send a good team to play in this Champions Cup because Siela Khaleesi's just come back from playing in the fucking World Cup or just come back from playing for South Africa in a high-stakes game, right? They to be fair to them, they know how to rest their players at the expense of what should be a prestigious tournament, you know? So, you know, good for them, but the organizers of this competition, and Investec is a fucking South African company. So if they're putting out the fucking money, maybe they should be the ones going, I don't like your format, guys, you know?
I think that's why they really, all these South Africans playing in Japan is really good for them because these players play less rugby.
It's a holiday for them.
Yeah.
Same for the Kiwis who go there. They
And
know that.
It's good, healthy. Like they send some of their best players are playing over there.
Yeah.
And it's just good for them because they're playing less rugby and they got more time to rest.
Yeah.
And they just pull them back for the Springbok games and they're there.
Yeah.
Because if they're playing like RG Simon for Leinster, he's playing all year round.
Yeah, he is. And then eventually they go to the great sumo ring in the sky. Like, where's Faf de Klerk now? He's drifted off to the great sumo ring in the sky. We'll never see him again.
Yeah.
You know? Cheslin Colby. Anyway, whatever.
So yeah, that's next weekend.
It is next week.
Next weekend we got a lot of rugby to watch next weekend. Oh man, Leinster and Glasgow and Munster and Bordeaux are on Friday. Fuck.
Well, there's too much
Is it
rugby to
gonna
fit in.
That just means that the games are on during work.
Yeah. Shall I tell you some little bits of news, some little tidbits before we finish?
Yeah, we got time. Yeah.
So I watched the Women's Elite Rugby. I watched the Boston Banshees against the Twin City somethings. I didn't know what the Twin Cities were. I found out.
You wanted to cover this, you can't remember the team's names.
It's funnier if I can't remember. So I watched the Twin City. Do you know what the Twin Cities is? I didn't know. I had to Google it.
Is that like Chicago and no?
I thought it was Chicago. It's not.
I don't know.
It's Minnesota. Is that a city or a state?
No.
Minneapolis and St. Cloud or something. Paul the Cloud. Anyway, it's that bit. It's the top of the USA, right?
Okay.
Anyway, it was good. It was good.
Where was it on? How did you watch it?
It was on DAZN.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw it on DAZN, which it was the only rugby union available to watch on DAZN on Saturday.
I had no idea this existed until you mentioned it like an hour ago.
Oh, really?
I had no idea
Yeah.
there was like a professional
Women's rugby union league in the USA now. Yeah, and it was decent. Like I enjoyed it. Like quality was good. Like it was decent turnout in the crowd. Like commentary was good. The cameras were good. They weren't like fucking jittery and bugging out every 2 minutes.
like an MLR game.
Yeah, like an MLR game. They had scrums, unlike an MLR game. You know, like I had a good time watching it.
And I'm assuming you didn't look anything into the league, like who owns it, how it started.
I went in blind, so I'm fully prepared for it to be owned by a vampire or something, and be like, like some evil bastard. So I don't know who put this fucking money up, but I'm happy watching it, and it is good for the game. What else was I going to tell you about as well?
Does the USA have the 2032 World Cup
They
for
do?
the men? Do they have the women's also? I think they do.
I don't know how that works.
I think there's a women's rugby World Cup coming
In the
down the
USA.
pipeline into the USA.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, they're
Yeah.
clearly starting to put money into it. Like, they're broadening their horizons a bit. Because I keep hearing the MLR is struggling financially. I keep hearing that. But there's obviously money somewhere. Maybe this isn't the same pot of money.
I'm going to look into this after this podcast here and see what this league is all about here.
Yeah, have a look for me. 'cause, but I had
what
a
else
good
are you
time.
going to tell me?
I was going to tell you that Worcester Warriors are back.
Yeah, because so they entered into the championship. I heard they're even getting players signed.
Do you know what's good about? Do you know what's funny about this? You have Ealing Trailfinders punching that glass ceiling until their fists are bloody, and I bet you Worcester are going to come back, dance past them straight back into the Prem. It's
Are
going to
they
be.
bringing relegation back though?
No, they're not. But I bet you they'll make an exception for Worcester. They'll dance right up there. Ealing will still beat them, and then Worcester will be allowed back in because their stadium's big enough or something. It'll be hilarious. And the best thing about it, right? I've been to Worcester to watch a game. It's Gloucester on acid. It's fucking bouncing there. Like, they love their rugby. Yeah, they fucking love their rugby. I had a great time going there.
Poor Ealing.
Yeah,
Poor Ealing.
Poor Ealing. Just can't get a. It was Cornish Pirates as well. Doncaster. They just can we come up? No, fuck off. Fix your bleachers, you shits.
Man, to be honest though, the championship in England is pretty
Oh, it's
dire.
grim. Yeah, there's like
I remember
packets
doing
of chips on the field and
yeah.
stuff.
I did a little online tour of like their not even
Stadia?
stadiums, their fields.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
have-
They wish they had
yeah.
stadiums.
One team just had a field, and
Yeah.
then there was a hill where
Yeah.
they like had random like park benches.
They
that
had
must-
public hangings on the hill on
Yeah.
on a Tuesday. Like,
I was like, what the fuck is it? Like, one
Yeah.
guys they have to take a path through the woods to get to the fucking field. I was like, and you look at the Pro D2 and like it's
Yeah.
like fucking sellout fans, like
Yeah.
13,
Three-tier
15,000
stadium.
people there, and you're like,
Yeah.
holy shit! Like,
yeah, they got
what a
Coldplay for the
drop-off.
halftime show. Like,
Yeah. Then this is what England have. This is like their development league.
yeah.
Like fuck.
It
like,
is embarrassing, isn't it? How the fuck did France overtake England to be the moneyest of monies? That's England. Like, that's your game. All we ever say is you have the most resource. I don't even know it's true anymore.
Like it's their game, and they fucking like yeah. And you look at that structure, that anything below,
Yeah.
and you're like, what the
I know.
fuck is this?
And you could say, yeah, like football is massive in England, but it's massive in France. It's
Yeah.
as big.
Well, I heard that rugby viewership is actually surpassing football in France.
I could believe it. I could
Yeah,
believe
I
it.
read
yeah.
that not
Yeah.
too long ago.
Yeah.
Like last week, I read that headline
Yeah.
that the viewerships for games now are starting to surpass football games
Mm.
in France. That's how big rugby's getting there.
Men want to like rugby. Here's the thing. In a lot of these countries, especially in England, like football is a working class game. But if England got really good at rugby, people would be like, hang on, that's really fun to watch. Because it's objectively more exciting to watch when
It
it's
is,
when
yes,
it's good. When
yes.
it's good, you know? So, it has so much potential. I just like what you do in England. Like, you just fumble in this hot potato. Just keeping Bill Sweeney there.
You got guys traveling through a ravine to get to the showers.
There's a guy with like a candlelit lamp on a stick. Follow me to the stadium.
fucking like a half-hour
Yeah,
walk,
absolutely pissing rain. Like,
and people are like got their fold-out chairs and shit. You're like, what the
got a
fuck?
little thermos with him. Come on,
Yeah.
Gloucester.
Old Howard with his fucking like makeshift barbecue he brought.
Yeah, he's got
and
moss in his hair. Like, yeah.
it's just like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah,
Like,
seriously.
they should be bigger and
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
And it's
France,
not.
they have like bikini cheerleaders at halftime and fireworks. Like, come on, guys, get your shit together.
When I look at the two games, when I took a look at the two different sports like soccer and rugby and compare the two, and I watch both of them,
Yeah.
like I'm totally out of my league with this comment, but I can't wrap my head around it. I'm like, how the fuck
Yeah.
is this so like?
I
like,
know.
You
I
would
know.
think the viewership would be opposite when you look at the two, but they fucking like just show up in droves for a football
There's
game.
a few things because I've always enjoyed playing football, right? Like I always enjoyed it. And when I was younger, I definitely used to watch, because if you're in the UK, it's a part of life. It is a part of life. It's like hockey. It's bigger than hockey is here, honestly.
I would,
You know? Because it's so easy to fucking play as well, isn't it? You only need a ball. And it's tribal as fuck as well.
Yeah.
It's so, and it's you're not even going there for the game sometimes. You go in there to be with the boys, to drink all day, every Saturday. You get excited for it, right? So I understand that tribalism to it. If that could translate to rugby, like it does in places like if you go to Northampton or Gloucester, they have that, but for rugby, you know, which is impressive.
So that's what rugby's missing, is missing their street gangs.
And it is, but here's the reason that isn't the case is because they don't have football hooligans, because it's a rich kid's sport, right? It still is a rich kid's sport. It's changing, but it's always been rich people, except in Wales, actually. And good for France, because France have like broken. They've got the groundswell. When La Rochelle came up the league and won, La Rochelle's not a big place, relatively speaking, right? That was groundswell support. The whole fucking town was like, we're rugby now. Get that fucking football out of here. We're rugby now.
Because these guys
Right?
are like getting out of the morning, brushing their teeth, racing over to the soccer stadium
Yeah,
to watch their home team
yeah.
that has like maybe one or two English guys on it.
If they're lucky.
If they're lucky.
really lucky, you know?
Yeah,
Seriously. Because like most of their guys will have their hometown team, right? And they definitely haven't got an English fucking player in their team.
Yeah.
You know? But you get there and there's people setting off flares and getting pissed. It's like a party every Saturday for poor people. I'm joking when I say that. But you know, it's true, right?
Ew.
Yeah. And you only got to look at this, you know, I was watching the Welcome to Wrexham thing because it's near my hometown.
Yeah.
And now if I go on the Reddit for Wrexham, it's all these American guys. American here, just want to see I'm on. But it's bandwagon shit, right? It's like, I saw you on Disney, I'm having a good time. It's like, okay, welcome to the fucking party, right? Like,
It's a good. That was a good way to sell that game.
fucking right it was. Yeah, talk about a PR fucking campaign.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like
And then fucking
Ted Lasso, fucking
Rugby, like-
stealing our fans.
here's your Netflix show. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're just gonna fucking fuck this right.
Yeah,
up.
exactly. And that's another thing, isn't it? Rugby doesn't know how to PR because it's run by 6 old white guys in blazers going, I don't know if we should let this squidge own footage that we film. Like, fuck's sake, guys. Come on, Bill. Let him use it.
Why are we even filming these games in color? When I watched it, they were black and white and they were just fine.
Why are we filming them at all?
It's just like they hate.
Yeah.
They hate growing their game.
Yeah, no, we don't. They only want the same 9 guys to be there. You know,
Yeah.
fuck's sake.
We own a casino, so we're fine. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, I think we talked about everything we were going to talk about today.
Worcester back.
Worcester, Worcester,
Welcome back, Worcester.
Worcester,
Just say Worcester.
Worcester,
Like rooster, but with a W.
Worcester,
Wuss-
Rooster,
wuss-
Worcester.
Wuss. Like
Whatever.
wussy. Worcester.
Fuck,
Yeah.
goddamn. I
Yeah.
have to speak English in that goddamn place.
Worcestershire sauce.
Worcester sauce. So yeah,
Right.
do you know if the London Irish are coming back?
Heard they were.
What happened to the fucking Wasps?
Ah,
Come back,
the Wasp Hive got smashed. I would love the Wasps. Of all those 3 teams, Wasps are always my favorite. I did like a bit of Danny Cipriani at Wasps. Anyway, I heard there was some genuinely sad news. There was a guy, I can't remember his name, who kind of was the money guy for Formula 1 and rugby. He was a big Formula 1 rugby guy, and he was the kind of the London Irish money guy, and he passed away only a few weeks ago, and I think that might have affected things. I could be totally wrong, but
I think it's up to us. You and I had to become millionaires and then bring back the Wasps.
I think we should do that. How are we going to do that?
I don't know.
Find out next week on The Friends of Rugby.
Welcome to our downline and just get into a pyramid scheme and lose all our money. Just try to get everyone to get in on it.
Yeah.
All right, friends, thanks for listening to the podcast, the Friends of Rugby podcast. You can email us at thefriendsofrugbypod@gmail.com. Like and share the podcast. And
Yeah, thanks for
that's
listening.
it. And take it away, Frank.
All right. Goodbye.